Welcome to Let's Talk About It with Laura Paul. Join Laura as she brings interesting guests, inspirational discussion, and a Christ-centered perspective on life. Enjoy the next hour with your host, Laura Paul.
Hello, and welcome to Monday night. What a treat I have for you over the next hour. You know, or I'm reminding you that this Saturday, May the 2nd at 2 p.m., you'll find our friends Jonathan Wilburn, Jeff Tolbert and Primitive Road, Tommy Spencer, and Carolina the Band performing at the Biblical Times Theater in Pigeon Forge. Tickets are still available, both online or at the door 3 hours before showtime at the Biblical Times Theater. It's located at 2391 on the Parkway in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. You can get your tickets at 11 o'clock this Saturday. Think about it. Go grab lunch, then enter at 1 o'clock and see a fantastic show at 2. It's just right here within, half an hour's drive from your house? So why don't you take some friends or family with you? Tonight, you and I get to hear a few words from each of these fabulous artists and their songs from this last year. Plus, we're going to have a few updates along the way. Get ready for God, gospel, and great stories. You can listen on Praise 96.3 FM radio or praise96.3.com anywhere in the world. Facebook and YouTube, both at Talk with Laura Paul. Please be sure to hit follow or subscribe, as that really helps us out. Thank you to producer Dan Bell, who we will also be talking about later in the program, Shelby Hicks on social media, and to complete my personal trio, superstar and super supporter, David's Abbey Carpet and Floors, with a trio of locations, Knoxville, Maryville, and Pigeon Forge. Okay, here it comes. Breaking news. Our very own Dan Bell is in the top 10 nominees for Best DJ in the 2026 Singing News Fan Awards. You can vote, and the top 5 are going to be in the July issue. So, here's how it works. Once the top 5 is announced in the July issue, the award will be held at the award show. That's in NQC, September 30th in Pigeon Forge. So you need to go ahead and put September 30th on your calendar. Today or tomorrow, go to www.singingnews.com/subscribe. That's www.singingnews.com/subscribe. And that is where you can cast your vote. And by the way, this Saturday, in this concert that I'm talking about, you have 2026 top 10 nominees that you can move into the top 5. For example, our friend Jonathan Wilburn is a 2026 top 10 nominee for soloist and favorite album for his album Jesus Can. So we might as well play something from that tonight, don't you think, as well as talking to Jonathan. Also, we have 2 of the groups that are kind of battling it out. This will be fun. You can see both of them this Saturday in concert, as I've been telling you. For fan favorite band, Carolina the Band and Jeff Tolbert and Primitive Road are both in the top 10 nominations. Wouldn't it be great if they both were in the top 5? Plus, Jeff Tolbert and Primitive is also nominated for favorite musician and favorite artist. Last year, Jeff and I sat down on Let's Talk About It, and, well, this is what he had to say.
I always try to talk to the listeners as though perhaps they're brand new to Southern gospel music, because they all know that I've only jumped off the high dive into this genre of music in the last couple of years.
Right.
And so in getting ready to talk to you, of course, I listened to music from the quartet, and that was more of the standard Southern Gospel 4-part harmony, but going into the songs, you could definitely hear the mandolin, the fiddle, and a little bit of that bluegrass vibe. And now with Jeff Tolbert and Primitive Road, I'm really, really hearing more of the bluegrass, but still holding on to the 4-part harmony. Is that right?
Yeah, you're correct. I mean, that is part of our heritage, and of course the guys that are with me and what we're doing, we were all raised on primitive quartet music through the years, and there is that 4-part harmony that was based on that, as they started out. The acoustic instruments has always been surrounding that whole sound for many, many years, and maybe I tell folks wherever we go, we want to do the old stuff and keep it alive because that's a part of our heritage. And some of those old songs that can't be beat, they're just great songs, like what the Primitives have sung, what the Inspirations are doing now. They're still singing those old songs, but, with that young drive and what they're doing. And that's what we're hoping to do. And I want to bring new music to the table as well. And, of course, like even with the song that we have out on radio right now, it's not, you wouldn't relate that to being actually primitive quartet sound, but it's still the acoustic instruments and what we're doing, and then being able to put all that together in one ingredient is something that we're trying to do.
Well, off your first album release as Primitive, not the quartet, but as Jeff Tolbert and Primitive Road, your first release is I Am the One.
Yeah.
Who wrote that song?
Richard Van Cleve. He lives up in Kentucky, and Richard has wrote a few songs that I know of. I don't know him very well, but I know he's struggled a lot through life and different things, but Lord allowed him to be able to pen this song down. And, and it talks about in there, it says, he heard my cry and he had mercy on me. And the song is something that we can all relate to, is even being not a Christian or being a Christian, that the message in the song is so true. It's so true. And yet it's like, I am the one that died on the tree, and I'm the one that, that will set you free. And it's just got great lyrics. I love the song. When I first heard it, actually, I stumbled across the song. I do a lot of producing and recording for different people.
Right.
And I was actually playing on a project, and someone had recorded the song and said, there was a young gentleman up in Kentucky that wrote the song. And that's where I stumbled across it. And I thought, man, I've got to record that someday. And it's been a blessing to a lot of people. And Richard is doing great, and God's really blessing him, and he's so excited. This has been an uplift to him and an encouragement to him in his life right now. And we're excited about the song. And, people come up to me all the time. They can pay comments to us all they want to about how we pick and how we sing, and that's great. And I'm so appreciative of that.
You're blessed musicians, but
when someone
the message is the
when someone comes up and says, you helped me tonight, you encouraged me tonight, I felt the Spirit of God in what you did tonight, that's the best compliment that they could ever give me, because then I know we're doing what we're supposed to be doing.
The message is so in the words of the songs. And one of the things that I have noticed is that throughout all of your songs that you have produced on this particular album, they're all songs that tell a story.
Yes.
And it's either by us telling our story of needing Jesus, or like this song of Jesus telling us exactly who he is.
Yeah. It starts out, I was lost in darkness. We were all in the dark, if you're not a child of God. But I'm thankful that I'm not in the dark no more, all because of what he's done for us.
Well, something Jeff and I talked about before the program is that we hope that you watching and listening through us as just servants of God, vocal cords, talking, and a great musician, blessed to be able to play some music. We're going to play some live in the program, that you would actually see the light of Jesus.
Absolutely.
And so that's our prayer. See the light of God calling you. We're going to play a little bit of this song for you. Would you like to introduce your own song, Jeff?
Here's a song that's certainly been a blessing to us, and I hope it blesses you. It's entitled, I Am the One.
I was lost in darkness when I began to pray. Then Jesus came to me on that fateful day. Now he says, child, I know you're sorry for all that you have done. Just reach to me, for I am the one. I am the one who died on the tree, and I am the one who will set you free. When I heard you cry, have mercy on me, I am the one. I am the one.
You're listening to Let's Talk About It on Praise 96.3. In February, Jonathan and I, that's Jonathan Wilburn, by the way, we shared a conversation while on the 50th annual Singing at Sea cruise. And I think Jonathan is a guy that can go down a rabbit hole on a totally different subject, unlike any other one I know. We were supposed to be talking about music, and next thing you know, it is all about catfish. After this story, you'll hear Jonathan sharing his heart for Jesus from a previous conversation we had here on Praise 96.3, and you'll get to hear some of his music. You're listening to Let's Talk About It with Laura Paul.
My story with Jesus is I don't have a story of hell and of the gutter and of the bar or addiction. My story is glorious through the fact that my parents loved Jesus, loved God's people, and raised their boys within that environment.
And you just wanted to go to the University of Tennessee and be a veterinarian.
I'm a born-again Christian, and listen, when I say this, I don't say it boastful. I'm just being honest, and some people can go, ooh, but there are some singers who say they woke up one day and they had this awesome dream to be a gospel singer. That's not me. I had a dream to go to the University of Tennessee and be a veterinarian. And God called me to do what I do.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't wake up one morning and say, well, I can't wait to get on that bus and leave my family and go, that wasn't my dream.
Your gift, your God-given gift that he created you for is in your vocal cords, and it's obvious to all of us.
Thank you. Well, I hope that through my heart, and that comes through my vocal cords, what's in my heart. That's my whole desire, is that, I've had these young singers say, what is your secret? You're 57 years old and you still have energy. And I pray every night, God, let your Holy Spirit live in me tonight one more time, and let me just present the gospel through song and testimony and just my life story, and present the gospel to a lost and dying world. It's urgent. I don't want to be a gospel show. I don't want to be that. I don't want to be a gospel show.
I can attest to the fact, having seen you last night. I was like, wait a minute, am I here for a gospel music show? Because what I'm really seeing is a preacher teaching and preaching through song. Like I said, you tell stories in your music, and the way that you capture the audience's attention, because you'll be saying something big and then you'll back away from it and you'll give us time to think about it, and then you'll come back big again.
Well, that's being around a lot of great preaching in my life, and seeing what works, and I've seen great preachers. My daddy was a great preacher, and I go down the line. Mays Jackson, some of the old preachers from the days gone by, then the young preachers today, C.T. Townsend, and of course I love Charles Stanley, and all these Jerry Vines, Johnny Hunt, and the list goes on. I had the preacher that was preaching at the little church where I first heard the gospel, Charles Allen Gentry. He's went home to be with the Lord, but he preached at our little church for 55 years. And he, in this town of Smith County, he conducted over 2,600 funerals and 2,100 weddings, and he's was just the ultimate preacher that nobody will ever see on TV or see in lights. But he was a great example of an humble servant of God to me.
And I'll bet in 55 years he spent a lot of time in the water, baptisms, over and over.
Oh, yeah. Well, I've got a picture of me. He baptized me when I was 9 years old, and I've got a picture of that. But more than anything, he brought the Word of God that pricked my soul and showed me who I was and what I needed. And what I needed was a Savior, and His name was Jesus. And so my dad always had a saying, if you see a turtle on a fence post, he didn't get there by himself. Somebody put him up there, and that's the way I feel, Laura, about my whole life. Like people like you, I've had so many DJ friends and people who've seen the value of our music, and they've lifted us up in prayer and through promotion, through programs like this program. WJBZ has been a part of my life for over 40 years. J. Baswell Mull is one of the first people that gave me an opportunity to sing in front of a large audience, let alone play us on the radio. He and Mother Mull, they were such dear friends of ours. He would call me, "Hey, Doc, I want you to come up here and sing with the McCameys and the Primitive Quartet." And I was, man, that's going to be there'll be thousands of people. And he gave us those opportunities. And people like you, and when I say that, I don't say it flippantly. I'm here today, first and foremost, because Jesus is my Savior. And He has given me the power and the strength to do what I do. But second, because people have seen something of value in me to help me along the way. And I am so grateful for that. I could start with David Hayes and stand here for hours and talk to you about all the people who have financially blessed our ministry, who've prayed for us and encouraged us. And I just lost a dear friend this past year, Charlie Teliapap. I know that's an odd name, but he's from Wyoming. And that during COVID, I'm sitting at home wondering if I'm ever going to sing again. And this man calls me 30 minutes later after I've said, "Lord, give me strength. What should I do?" He calls me and he says, "John, I want to fly you to Wyoming. I want you to sing for this little mission church out here that's been a mission church to the Mormons." And he said, "I really believe, I've listened to you for 35 years. He said, "I really believe that your testimony, your song might reach them." And that really, really touched my heart that someone would have that kind of confidence in my testimony.
I am a poor, wayfaring stranger, while traveling through this world below. There is no sickness, toil, or danger in that bright world to which I go. I'm going there to see my Father. I'm going there no more to roam. I'm just going over Jordan. I'm just going over home. I'll soon be free from every trial. this old form will rest beneath the sod. I'll drop the cross of self-denial and enter in my home with God. I'm going there to see my mother. She said she'd meet me when I come. Well, I'm just going over Jordan. I'm just going over home. I'm going to see my Savior, who shed for me his precious blood. I'm just going over Jordan. I'm just going over home. I'm just going over Jordan. I'm just going over home.
You're listening to Let's Talk About It with Laura Paul on Praise 96.3. This program is supported and sponsored by, well, a band of professionals at David's Abbey Carpet and Floors. The flooring company was started by soloist David Hayes 53 years ago. And since then, David's has grown into a trio, as in 3 generations of family working together to provide a huge selection of flooring to choose from for all of us. Go see their carpet, hardwoods, ceramic tile, rugs, special offers, warranties. You can see that at any of their trio of locations, Maryville, Knoxville, and Pigeon Forge. I have a bit of everything in my home, and I can tell you it wears beautifully and looks as though it is brand new 4 to 5 years later, and I know it's going to continue to do the same thing on in my home. So check it out for your home. Do business with David's Abbey Carpet and Floors, and you too will consider them a fan favorite. Another local Southern gospel music fan favorite is the host of the Sunday morning TV show first started by the Reverend J. Basil Mull and Lady Mull. Perhaps if you're local, you remember that. The one and only Tommy Spencer is who I'm talking about, and he also will be in concert this Saturday. It was on Let's Talk About It that Tommy shared a long-hidden truth only a very close friend knew about. That is, well, until he shared it here in this conversation.
Before we get into your story, it would only be right and appropriate for us to talk about the moles.
I'd love to talk about the moles.
We're sitting in their chairs.
We are.
Please do.
You know, J. Basil Moles and Miss Mole were extremely special. You know, she hand chose me to take over the show.
How old were you at that time?
How old was I?
Yeah.
It was 11 years ago.
So you're just a young whippersnapper.
Well, actually Sunday I turned 62.
Oh my, happy birthday.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get all my Social Security I paid in.
Happy raise and happy birthday.
All of it.
Yeah. So tell me what it was like to be the chosen one and that first Sunday that you sat in.
Well, I was a nervous wreck, And if you ever want to go see the first show, go to YouTube and look at it. It's hilarious because I said and the entire time because I was so nervous taking over such a large show like that. And but I got a little better at it.
Well, I understand. I started this radio show a year ago, and I had never done alt talk radio. I mean, I had introduced country music artists and done, interviews with country music artists, but I had never done an entire talk, and I think I did the same thing of
Yeah, I used to listen to you when I was a kid.
I was just a kid when you were listening to me.
I was wondering if I could get a reaction out of that.
Tommy, we're the same age. Come on now. Oh, wait a minute. Lady's never supposed to tell her age.
No.
A true Southern lady should never tell her age. But I think I just did. We'll let that pass. So, do you remember what you talked about at all on those early shows?
We had the grandson on, the Jay Bell's grandson on with me. He was my special guest, and we were announcing the new show, The Most Sunday Tradition, and because the Most Singing Convention had signed off the air the week before, and it was appropriate that it signed off when Charlotte passed away. And I hosted it with Charlotte, and then we decided to continue the show. We were going to end the show, actually, and then everybody was just like, don't do that, don't do that. It blesses us every morning. It was an outpouring of people, don't do that. So we continued the show, and I've had it for 11 years now.
And for those that don't know, because there's constantly people moving to Tennessee, you can understand why it's so beautiful here.
Sure.
Where can they find you?
They can find us on WVLT. We're on MyVLT, and then we're on a WKNX, which is it's Channel 4 on Comcast. I'm not sure where else it's at, but
WVLT, and what time?
It's actually MyVLT, and it comes on at 7 a.m. when it's always came on, and then it shows in the afternoon on WKNX at 5 o'clock.
And that's always on Sunday.
Always on Sunday.
Very good. Now, I have been talking about your story behind the story.
Yes.
And I spoke earlier on Dan's show that I thought all afternoon, how am I going to introduce Tommy? And I think that most of us that know you at all or know you well think of you as what I'll call a happy-go-lucky guy.
Sure.
Full of Jesus, happy-go-lucky guy.
Absolutely.
But we are going to play a song. You're going to prepare yourself. We have prayed over the show together. We have asked God to take over the show. We have asked God to reach out to a listener or many listeners with his message, special wrapped present just for their ears to make a difference in their world. And after we hear this song, Here's to the Preacher, which would only be appropriate having been talking about the Moles.
Yeah, I actually wrote this song, and Jay Basil and Miss Mull got to hear it before they passed away. So,
Here's to the Preacher.
Yeah.
Thank you, Doug. Thank you, and a very pleasant good evening, everyone, everywhere. This is your old neighbor, Jay Basil.
And Mrs. Mull.
With your singing convention. And, of course, here we've got a great song, Lady Ma. We're going to start off with our friends and neighbors. I want you to listen to this. You get a lot of great out of this wonderful song.
Special to his family, an angel when he smiled. But the world would soon know him, what a change that he would make in the world of gospel music, working hard for Jesus' sake. With his lady right beside him, guiding him along, leading souls by the thousands to their everlasting home. He preached the word of Jesus, brought music to the throngs, loving God and his family, serving Christ and Christ alone. Here's to the preacher that was faithful through the years. Here's to the preacher standing tall to doubts and fears. He is now in heaven for his service to the Lord. God bless the preacher. He's receiving his reward. Many years have come and gone now since the Lord called preacher home, but the memories he has left us will be cherished, for he lives on in the songs that singers bring us, in melody and rhyme, bringing joy and comfort to us time after time. Often I wondered what job that God bestowed on the old gospel preacher when he reached heaven's throne. Maybe he's teaching music to the quartets up above, with his sight restored to perfect in the storehouse of love. Here's to the preacher that was faithful through the years. Here's to the preacher standing tall to doubts and fears. He's now in heaven for his service to the Lord. God bless the preacher. He's receiving his reward.
You're listening to Let's Talk About It on Praise 96.3, and I'm your host, Laura Paul. My last Singing News nominee group is Carolina the Band. I had 2 opportunities recently this year to talk to the group member that just happens to be Jonathan Wilburn's son. That's Jordan Wilburn. And here are a couple of things that Jordan shared with me.
So, what has your group? First of all, not everybody knows who all is in your group, and I have read that you've been adding people to the group. So, tell everybody who is in your group. What makes up Carolina the Band?
The current group is the owner, Scott Whitener. He has a long history in Southern gospel music. He used to sing with the Singing Americans as their lead singer back in the 80s, early 90s, I believe. So he sings baritone now. Then we have Mitchell Wisnett that sings lead. I'm Jordan Wilburn, I sing tenor. And then Chris Parker sings bass. And then we have Greg Fox, Little Foxy, playing the drums and cueing our tracks and letting us know when we get out of tune and out of pitch and all that good stuff. So that's who makes up Carolina the Band.
What you're really saying is you've got more talent on that stage when you perform with all of that background.
We do. We have a lot of talent. I try to keep my young looks prevalent. They get harder to do with age, but I go all the way back. I was able to still be alive during the time, and before J.D. Sumner died, I actually made friends with him when I was a kid between the ages of 7 and 9. I performed. He performed with me on stage at NQC at one time. I think I was years old, 7, 8 years old then. So yeah, I have a deep history. Of course, Greg Fox, his dad, Eldridge Fox, that owned the Kingsmen, and had those awesome groups. Scott with all the groups he's been with, and then Chris Parker. A lot of people don't know his uncle is Ivan Parker, who, of course, sang lead for many years with Gold City. Then Mitchell, if you've never seen us live, you wouldn't understand, but he not only sings lead, he plays lead guitar at the same time, and it's incredible. It's like you said, there's a lot of talent on stage.
Well, I have been blessed to see you all on stage, and I would suggest anyone that can get close to any one of your concerts anywhere should do so. It is just, but I was thinking about the fact that you guys, a lot of you actually grew up together.
Yes. So
you were sleeping behind the speakers at your dad's performances a long time ago.
When Greg Fox played drums for the Kingsmen, there wasn't a night that went by if we sang with the Kingsmen, Jim Hamill would always call me on stage to sing with the Kingsmen. And I became friends with Greg Fox that way, and that's a long time ago. So yeah, I've been around it all my life.
So, what is the most exciting thing to you about being in this band, being a member of this group?
Well, for me, it would be the fact that, of course, I sang 12 years with my dad as Wilburn and Wilburn as a duet. And a lot of times my dad was very gracious, and he would just let me lay down whatever vocal I wanted to in the studio, because just like with when I was with Dad, I have a studio here in my apartment, and that's where we do all our vocals and make for our newest single that we're going to talk about, Building Bridges. That's where it was recorded, right here in a little apartment duplex in Lattimore, North Carolina. But I did all mine and Dad's records too, and but I had the luxury then. I just sang it, and then Dad would put whatever vocal fit around it. But now it's fun to me because I grew up singing. Before I learned how to sing lead, I had to learn how to sing harmony in my family. You didn't sing lead until you could sing harmony good, and so I really enjoy the because I grew up around it. My dad was with Gold City for 12 years. The quartet style harmonies, and I'm getting to learn a lot of new stuff that I didn't know before. I've had some success. I've had a Dove nomination with me and Dad. We had 2 #1 records, but this is a whole nother different thing. I'm getting to I'll say this: it's a lot more relaxed to be able to know you've got 3 other guys that have got your back every night. Where when you're just doing a duet, if both of you are sick, well, you're really out.
You're in trouble.
Yeah, you're in trouble. But with the quartet, it's not to sometimes be able to kick back on songs and just blend. And but my dad's been a big help with me because I grew up learning that from him.
Well, and I think if we had all the guys from the band on with us at the same time, which will be difficult to do on the phones, but if we did, they would all have similar stories to tell of growing up around the music and those experiences. But what I've noticed about just being around all these families of musicians and singers is that if you can sing harmony and you can sing lead, then if there's a group that has someone fall sick, like on the cruise, for example, and they need someone to just pitch in either on an instrument, if you can play the instrument they need, or more specifically as a singer, then you can just jump in and fulfill whatever the void is, and that's pretty cool. So you're kind of taking care of one another. You know, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys May the 2nd, I believe it is, in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. So there's yet another reason we're talking to you tonight, because I'm talking about everybody coming out to see what a fantastic band you are. And do you recall where you're playing in Pigeon Forge? Because if you don't tonight on a Monday night, when you're probably saying, "Let me finish talking to you, Laura, so I can go have dinner," Dan Bell's going to tell us. It's where? Hang on.
Southern Gospel Music Association.
Oh, it's with the Southern Gospel at the Southern Gospel Music Association.
Whew, I should know this. My dad is a part of the Southern Gospel. Yes, it's the GCMA. Lord help us. So yes, and May the 2nd, we're going to be there. I don't know who we're with, but yes, my dad is having us on that at Pigeon Forge, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be there at the Biblical Times Theater.
And it's on May the 2nd.
May the 2nd. I think it starts at 6:30. And it's going to be us. I think my dad. I'm not sure who else, but
That's all right.
just us and my dad. We'll have a big time.
It's going to be an awesome show no matter what. And so looking forward to that. Maybe I'll get to talk to the whole group that night for a few minutes. We'll see how it goes. But right now, let's talk about these things you've been nominated for out there. And it's award season coming up. And the voting's been going on now. And so talk a little bit about that and tell the listeners tonight that are your fans and fans of the other members in your band, what can they do to help support you and help you get voted through?
Okay. Well, we just, our newest single, Building Bridges, we just found out today, over several major radio stations, was voted I think it averaged the number 2 spot in the most played newest single in the last 2 weeks.
Yay!
Yeah, that's a big deal.
I wish I had an applause system to play for you. All you've got is me, but I'm tapping the table.
Anybody listening, you can go to any streaming platform, iTunes, iCloud, Spotify, whatever, Amazon Music, and you can search Carolina the Band, Building Bridges, and you can download and stream that. And also it helps if you go on any, like Spotify, where you create a channel, create a Carolina the Band channel, and it'll play our music more. And the more it does, it helps our ministry out. So, yeah, that's a couple of helpful hints.
Now, does it help you if people go to your website and hit follow?
Yes. If they would like to go to Jordan Wilburn at Facebook.com, there'll be a check mark beside my name. They can follow me. Also, Carolina the Band at Facebook.com. Yeah.
That's great. And by the way, I should be telling the listeners they can help me by going to Talk About It with Laura Paul and hit follow there. So, or on YouTube at Talk with Laura Paul. We should just promote ourselves together all the time, Jordan. Hey, tell me what's special about this song, why we're going to love it, and then we are going to play it and let you get to dinner. But what's unique about this one? Who wrote it?
Okay, so the writer is Gloria Gaither, and
I knew that, but go ahead.
there's a co-writer, Donnie McGuire.
Uh-huh.
Donnie McGuire, and so they wrote it, and it's only been recorded one time previously by Charlotte. Now Ritchie, used to be Charlotte Penholler, but I call her Charlotte Penholler Ritchie because I go way on back knowing her. But she married Greg Ritchie, who used to be the drummer for Jeff and Cherry Easter, but she sang it on one of the Gaither videos called Happy Rhythm. But that's the only other time anybody else has recorded it. And Gloria Gaither had mentioned that she wanted to hear a male quartet record this song. And so we did it. And what's really cool is yesterday, got 2 texts, one to Scott Whitener, our owner, and we both had talked to the same person, Jeff Easter, and he had sent Gloria the song, and she said she loved the cut, and she backed it and supported it 100%. So that's kind of cool.
That is very cool. That is very, very cool. Because you're talking about Southern gospel greatness there, you know, kind of like the family that is on. We're all wanting to be close to the throne room, but that's a class act that is they're just I would say kind of the royal family.
I mean, when you wrote hits that Elvis Presley, Jerry Lee Lewis, and Ray Charles have recorded, well, yeah, you're a pretty big deal.
Yeah, and so that's great. I'm so excited for you guys. This is wonderful.
But I think it's going to do well.
Yeah.
It's called Building Bridges.
Wonderful news.
Yep.
And we're going to play it right now. And I want to tell you, I want to see you again here in, well, gosh, May 2nd. That's just about a month away, not too far.
Yes,
and so everybody, look it up, Biblical Times Theater, and you'll be able to see Carolina the band, Jonathan Wilburn, Jordan Wilburn, and all the other fine artists that were mentioned tonight by Jordan, and maybe a few more that he didn't mention. So we're looking forward to it, and we're just glad that you could join us tonight, Jordan, and you stay safe out there in this unruly weather we've been experiencing.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Love you.
You too, babe.
Let's build a bridge where walls once stood. I'd like to reach you if I could, stone by stone. Let's make it strong. We've been apart for way too long. You build from your bank, I'll build from mine. We'll reach each other in no time. And when we do, there'll be no way to make the crossing any day. Building bridges, building bridges. Nothing can keep me away from you. Our Lord has crossed the great divide, so we can go build bridges too. We're free to sing in harmony. God's love has built a bridge for me. We are so loved that we
build bridges true, building bridges, building bridges. Nothing can keep me away from you. Our Lord has crossed the great divide, so we can go build bridges too, so we can go build bridges too.
You've been listening to Let's Talk About It with me, Laura Paul. Tonight we have shared stories, conversations, and songs from Jeff Tolbert and Primitive Road, Jonathan Wilburn, Tommy Spencer, and Carolina the Band with Jordan Wilburn as their contributor. They are all top 10 nominees for Singing News Fan Awards, so get that vote in now to support these gospel artists and our very own Dan Bell by going to www.singingnews.com/subscribe. That's www.singingnews.com/subscribe. The top 5 in each category will be announced in July, and the winners are all going to be announced again September the 30th at the NQC Awards in Pigeon Forge. Speaking again of Pigeon Forge, go get those tickets either online or 3 hours before the show to see all of these guys in concert this Saturday. The concert actually starts at 2, so you could get your tickets at 11, go to lunch, and then be there when the doors open at 1. The show starts at 2. As for this Monday night, go talk to your best friend Jesus, and tomorrow tell somebody about Jesus, because you too can make a difference in this world. I'm Laura Paul. Till next Monday night at 7, we'll be seeing you on the radio.
Thank you for listening to Let's Talk About It with Laura Paul. Join us next Monday evening at 7 o'clock for another chance to call in and talk about it with Laura Paul, right here on Your Praise 96.3.